well. So I've got a new manufacturer to look at today, and a new pen for me. I was sent this shortly before Christmas to have a look at, and I've been playing it now for about 2 weeks. I've been writing with this pen. So this is part of what will form a meta review with the United Inktum guys, and thank you to Scribble for getting this over to me. So this is Namisu. So as I say, based here in the UK, and couple of Kickstarter projects a couple of years ago that I missed, that I wasn't aware of, where really from what I've had a look at on their website and everything that I've sort of read about them, really focusing on the simplicity of the look of that pen. And they had some beautiful titanium plain looking ones that, as I said, I missed that on sort of Kickstarter, but then was very fortunate to be sent this Ebonite pen to have a look at. I'm sorry, because I've never had an Ebonite pen to play with before, and I've read a lot about them. So Ebonite is it's a rubber really, that was used an awful lot in the early sort of 20th century, sort of early 1900s, was used, that first half, they used quite a bit to make fountain pens. And then as the sort of development of plastic came and manufacturers started leaning more towards the plastic because it was an easier material to work with. However, what you don't get with plastic that you do get with Ebonite is this wonderful warmth to the material. It's an odd thing. It feels not warm in your hand, but you don't, where you pick up a plastic pen, you feel the temperature that pen has been in. Where with Ebonite, you pick up this pen and it's like room temperature all the time, and it doesn't get hot, doesn't get slippery, doesn't get sweaty or anything like that. It's this comfortable material in your hand, and I really love it for that. So this is the Namisu, and this is the Nova. The Nova comes in metal finishes as well, but this is the Ebonite version that I've been having a look at. And comes here in this box. I will show you this now in more detail. We'll turn the camera around and we'll unbox it and we'll have a look at it in more detail. We were sent, just so that I let you know, we were sent 4 nibs in all to have a look at. I've actually only had a look at the one, because to say there's a few of us looking at this pen, we've each looked at different nibs. And I know that Scribble has on his website, Scribble Monbodo has already had a look at the titanium nib and played with that. So me being me and my sort of preference for extra fine nibs or fine nibs, I plumped to have a look and take a look at the steel extra fine nib that's on offer. So this pen, if you have a look, the website, I'll post the details and a direct link to the website underneath, but the website is Namisu, and this is to say is the Namisu Nova Ebonite and Titanium fountain pen. Comes with a steel nib, and they're steel Bock No. 6 nibs. So trusted nibs. I don't think I've really had an issue with Bock nibs. They're used by sort of various manufacturers, you know, a nib maker, a manufacturer of choice for companies like Kaveco. So I've used their nibs before. The options on their website, sorry, I'm mumbling or whatever the word is a little bit here. The nib options are extra fine, medium and broad on offer on their website in this steel. And then there's also an option, for a premium, there's an option of the titanium nib in extra fine or in medium as well to have a look at. I'm going to stop talking about it all now so you can actually see this pen and see what I'm talking about. So thank you very much, and I'll see you just 2 secs when we turn this around. Back. So let's have a look at this in a little more detail. So this is the Namisu Nova and the Ebonite. So it comes in this black pen sleeve to begin with. As you can see from the base here, Namisu, and the Nova Studio Matte Ebonite. And then it pulls out of its sleeve to this lovely, it's actually got quite a matte finish to it, but it's a really nice feel, this box. Just simple, it sort of follows that simplicity line really, this box, I find, with the Namisu logo on there and literally nothing else. So it pulls out like this, and here we have the pen that we're looking at now today. This is the Nova in Ebonite. Let me pull this out of the way and I'll get a little closer so you can see. Let that refocus. And this is where we're talking simplicity. There is, you know, it's simplicity at its best. It's very clean lines. It's got this matte finish to it, but not the matte finish where you leave every sort of fingerprint on there. And then the finials then are made of titanium. So if you have a look at the top here, we pick that out. It says around the top there, the Namisu Studio, written around there. And then again we have a titanium finial at the bottom there. So sort of cigar shape, really, narrows to the tip and then wider in the middle here. So measurements wise, we're looking at weight. This is a very, sorry, I've gone completely out of shot there because I was looking at my notes. This is a very lightweight pen. Ebonite is a very lightweight material. So we're looking at, capped like this is 20 grams, so it really is lightweight. If you like heavier pens, then you may be better off looking at maybe the metal options of the Nova. But this is, as I say, this is the Ebonite and it's very lightweight. Without the cap, it's only 14 grams, so it really is a lightweight pen, you know, particularly considering the size of it. So size-wise, we're looking at 140 millimeters in full length here. Without the cap, 128 millimeters. Width, so at its widest here, it's 15.5 millimeters, and then in the grip section, we'll see here, it's at 12.2. So we have titanium. I always forget the name of these. Somebody will tell me. But these, the threads, there we are, got there. So we have titanium threads as well, and it carries on and continues this simplicit look, I suppose. The grip section is made out of the same material as the rest of the pen as well. So let me have a look at that, so we'll have a look at this nib then for you. As I said, Bock number 6 nib. There isn't any sort of individual branding on it, it just says Bock. So there's, the only thing it doesn't say is the size of the nib isn't marked on the nib itself. So when I had these various nibs that were sent as well, I mean, luckily they were all in the right nibs and were marked in the right boxes and were marked on the box. However, you know, there was nothing to distinguish that I could see anyway. Apologies if I've missed something. So the nibs just screw out of here and then back in. So there is a step down to this grip section, which I particularly like actually, because the grip section is long enough to place your fingers comfortably on there without these threads getting in the way for me. So there isn't, I think if it was a bit shorter then you'd end up sort of partly on the threads and partly on the grip section, which may become uncomfortable. But actually the fingers are resting very comfortably on them. Because of the size of the nib, even my nails aren't getting in the way. I know they need sorting out desperately. Didn't have a chance this weekend. So as I say, very, very warm and light to the touch. By warm, I don't mean it's hot, but it's comfortable. You don't sort of, you know, sometimes when you've got a metal pen in your hand or a plastic pen, you can feel the fact that it's sort of on your hand, where here you don't, because it sort of has this body temperature to it. And I've mentioned this before because I was surprised when I sort of had the Lamy 2000 pen as to how much I actually ended up liking that pen, and it turned out to be a pen that I loved from last year. And that was a simple black pen, and this again is a simple black pen. But it works, it definitely works with its simplicity. Would I love to see another colour in it? Yes, absolutely. Maybe like a dark blue or a burgundy sort of finish material would be absolutely beautiful. But this in black with the Ebonite, I think is absolutely stunning. And it's so, so lightweight, which is what's been sort of so lovely with it. Cost wise, this is £100 at the moment. I checked the website just before recording this video, and it's gone from £105 down to £100 exactly right now. That's with the steel nib option. There is, as I said, a titanium nib option in an extra fine or a medium, and that is an extra £30, so that makes it £130 here in the UK. Filling system cartridge converter. The converter didn't get to me, so I've put a cartridge in there, but it does come with a converter when you purchase this pen from their website. So I've just had a cartridge fitted in here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to sort of say. I don't think there is. I mean, nib wise, I'll show you now with a writing sample. So this, as I say, is the Namisu Nova, and this is the Ebonite and titanium version. This is the extra fine steel nib, and ink, in case you were wondering, is Kaweco Summer Purple. I don't know if you could hear that as I was writing. There is a lot of feedback from this nib, and if anything, it would be probably the only critique I have is that the nib isn't bad, it's not scratchy or anything like that. There is an awful lot of feedback from it. It is a hard nail-like nib, and I like extra fines, but I would be sort of, if there was a fine option, I would probably be looking maybe at that so that it was writing a little smoother. I know those that tried the medium and the broad, it was a very smooth writing experience, where this is a hard nib. I've, as I say, been writing with it now for a couple of weeks, and it's extremely comfortable pen to hold in the hand. In fact, I would say that I found myself sort of reaching for it regularly when it's been in my pen case, especially over the last week in work. Saying that it's nail-like and there's a lot of feedback, there is, as you can see, some give in that nib when you want to sort of, you know, if you push it to do so. But writing, it does feel quite hard. That would be, it wouldn't stop me buying the pen. It would, you know, I would probably sort of give it to somebody to sort of make it a bit wetter and maybe make it a bit smoother, and it would then be a beautiful pen to write with. It is among the most comfortable pens that I have to hold and to write with for long periods of time when I'm journaling. If that nib was, to say, a little bit wetter, a little bit smoother, I would probably write pages and pages without any hesitation, because it's got the right weight, the right width, and it's, for me, it's very, very well balanced. Post it, you can post it, and it doesn't make any difference. You know, it's so negligible, it doesn't make much difference to the weight in it. I never post any pens, so, but it's still a nice, as you can see, it's a nice length in my hands. Very, very impressed with it, very pleased with this pen. I'm very sort of grateful to have been given the opportunity to play with it. As I say, £100 or £130 with the titanium nib. Maybe with a titanium extra fine nib, that might make it sort of smoother and a nicer sort of experience from there. Do I think it's expensive because it's a steel nib? No, not really. Oh gosh, sorry, I've just knocked the camera out of the way. There we are, rescued. Sorry. There are pens now that are in that price bracket, over the £100 price bracket with steel nibs. The Pelican M200 series are around about the £100 sort of mark. The Visconti Rembrandts are over £100 here now in the UK, again with steel nibs. So, you know, it's not unusual, and I don't find the fact that it has a steel nib as an issue. You know, I have some of my, you know, my fondest pens have steel nibs, and I'm very happy with those. I don't feel the need for a gold nib. You could put a gold, is to say, the nibs are changeable, so you could get a different nib and put a different nib in that if you chose to do so. So that's everything that I've really got to say about this pen now. Any questions, please do drop me a line, but other than that, I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye!